Yeah, I sold mine earlier for about 400,000 just to make sure I kept having enough room to do these resupplies. I need to go get some armor and snacks before I do anything else. I don't want to be running out. Uh, so mine's not. It ain't got hardly nothing in it. Right. Yeah, I didn't expect y'all to hold up for me, man. I didn't realize it was going to take me that long. She is out in the country, so it wasn't like I could, I could have just left the car sitting there and let the tow truck come and got it, but it's sitting in some rich guy's driveway. He come walking down there. Everything all right? Yeah. And he'd already talked to my daughter before I even got there. He's like, "Oh, what kind of fluid did it leak out on my driveway?" I was like, "It's just antifreeze, dude. You know, are you sure it's just antifreeze?" He said, "I guess it really don't make no difference now." He said, "But are you sure it's just antifreeze?" I was like, "Yeah, it ain't even leaking no more, man." You know, yeah. I mean, dude, oil and antifreeze, transmission fluid, that don't do nothing to asphalt. Not new, fresh asphalt. Now, old asphalt, yeah, it might soften it up for a little bit, but, you know, dude, you're sitting here in a house on land that you probably spent friggin' three-quarters of $1 million. It ain't like you can't afford to have a little patch of fucking asphalt patched. Yeah, if it needs it. He's like, "Well, you can pull it over there in the grass if you want to." I was like, "Yeah, the tow truck's on his way." "Well, what are you gonna do if he don't come?" I said, "Dave, if it ain't here by 10:30, I said, I'm gonna just drive the damn thing to the garage." "Well, if you need to, you can pull it over there in the grass side the road there out front."
What can I
I was
get you?
like, "Yeah, I'm not leaving no. Yeah, it ain't no friggin' nice brand new vehicle, but I don't give a shit. I ain't leaving no car sitting on the side of the road out in the damn country."
That girl definitely got something.
I live in the country myself, and I've lived out here my whole life. I know what the fuck happens to vehicles that does that. That or friggin' bottle thrown through the windshield, or somebody friggin' running into it, coming around the curve and losing control, drunker and shit, or something. Well, this I go in work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. So I just got done working Friday, Saturday, Sunday days. I'm off today, and then I go back and work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. Then I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday days. Then I go back and work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday days. Then I'm off for my 7 days straight. Then we can get some stuff done. Work on your apartment stuff. Work on getting some stuff done. After you've done it for about a year or so, you kind of get the swing of it. But I put in for a transfer to another crew, so it may kind of mess with me for about a month or so till I get used to the different schedule. If I get it. But it's the same schedule, but like right now, I'm off today. They're on their 7 days off. Okay, so I work Friday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. They're off. Then when I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they come back and work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday nights. So there's four crews, but all work the same shift. It's just rotates because the company runs 365 days a year. It never shuts down holidays or nothing. Yeah. Yeah, it never shuts down. And now you've got certain departments that only work like Monday through Friday, and they're off holidays. You got certain people that's all they work. You got certain people that work a little bit different shift, but for the most part, most of the plant works 12-hour rotating swing shift for the most part. Biggest part of the people at that plant does. So if you're scheduled to work a holiday, you work it unless you've got vacation time scheduled. And we're only allowed 2 people per crew to take vacation at the same time. And now for Christmas, we're only allowed 1 person off that whole week. So man with seniority usually gets that. Which myself, to be honest with you, I prefer to work holidays if I'm scheduled to work them because I get time and a half. Even if it's straight time, I'm getting time and a half for the full 12, plus I get 8 hours holiday pay on top of that. So, I mean, I really, dude, I mean, I'm single, my daughter's grown, my grandson, he's 12, but she usually goes to her mom's side of the family and spends time with them for holidays. It's like here about July or so, I'll tell her, hey, send me a list, text me a list of what you want me to get him, because his birthday's in December too. So I'll tell her, I'll say, send me text me a list of what you need and or want me to get him for Christmas and birthday. So she'll send me a list, and by the end of August, I've done got it all bought. And then I just tell her, hey, it's here. Whenever you want to come pick it up, come pick it up. And I let her decide what to give him for Christmas and what to give him for his birthday. So, like last year, I bought him a PS5, bought him a 2 terabyte internal memory, couple, 2 or 3 games. He's really into building Lego cars, so I bought him a few of those. Bought him a few clothes, and so I bought him a few other things, and I just give it to her, and I was like, yeah, just give him whatever you want when. She said, well, because I'd give him my PS4 when I got my PS5, and he was still playing on PS4, but some of his friends had PS5, some of them still had PS4, but he plays like Fortnite and GTA. He plays this. I bought him this as well, but she's like, well, he's already got it. I said, well, I'll just take it back and get him something else. But he don't know how to. He really do missions or anything. He's just turned 12 last year. He should know how to do this stuff, but him and his friends just like to ride around and blow stuff up and kill people. So they don't really do missions or anything. And so he's wanting a VR system. So I told her, I said, well, I'll buy that for him for next Christmas, a VR system. And he's wanting GTA 6. And my daughter thought it come out like the end of last year. I was like, nah, it's next year. I said, I'll just buy that for him for Christmas next year. Because she's like, well, I'll get it for him for Christmas. I said, well, they're saying like the basic version is going to be like $80. Yeah, here's when I get the mission that I've been wearing my friggin' night vision set for the whole time and took it off for this one, and now all of a sudden I get this mission. But I told her, I said, well, I'll buy that for him too, because I'm gonna buy him and me both the top version of it where you get all the extras and everything. Well, from what I was reading, and it could be different, like, you got the basic version, you got what, enhanced version or something they call it, and then you got a legacy version or something like that. Then of course you got a box set version, which the box set version, the only difference in it and the legacy is it comes in a box. And I think you get a map of the game or something, which I'm not worried about that. But I think the legacy, from what I was reading, was going to be like $180. Something like that. And it may be more and it may be less, I don't know. But that's just what I was reading at the end of last year when they was really talking about GTA 6 pretty heavy. So I figured I'd get him that in a VR system. Yeah, one of his friends has got a VR and he likes going over and playing it, my daughter said. So I said, well, if that's something he likes, I'll get it for him then. Yeah. Well, I've watched videos of guys playing on it. I personally don't think I would enjoy playing VR because, yeah, I mean, because you're basically wherever you look with your head, you got to turn your head and shit to get your character's view to turn and stuff, which would make it quicker response. But I don't want, hell, I already have neck problems and back problems and everything else. I don't want to be sitting here, wrenching my neck, turning it up. Oh shit, what was that over there? And I think even with those VR systems, I don't know for sure, but I think you can get like gloves and stuff so that you're not actually using a controller. Like if you're punching, then you're actually throwing punches or whatever and stuff like that, something like that. So yeah, it's not something that looks like it would really interest me. I'm plenty fine sitting here looking at my big 75, 80-inch screen TV and using a controller. Come on, get on the damn scooter. They're kicking it along. But yeah, I mean, that'll be his big purchases for Papa this year, probably. Then probably get my daughter a new phone because last year her phone tore up, so I give her my old one that I'd had for about 8 years, which nothing wrong with it. I mean, dude, I'll keep a phone for 10, 15 years. She goes, yeah, she'll go through one about every year or two. I'm like, what are you doing to these things? Well, it just won't charge, Dad. I'm like, whatever. So, of course, a new phone, you're looking at friggin' grand easy or more right there. Yeah, I don't think she'll go with that. She had an iPhone there a few years ago and she didn't like it. But I mean, it's got to be one that has internet and text and calling, because me and her both I very seldom ever turn my laptop on. I've got two laptops. Well, actually, I've got four laptops, but two of them's old. And I very seldom ever turn it on. If I want to look something up, my phone's laying here right beside me. I just jump on there, Google it, and I'm done. Yeah, it's just too easy. Instead of going over and getting my laptop, or even if I had my laptop sitting here, having to log into it and everything else, you know what I mean? Alright, now I'm full on supplies, so now I gotta let it work down a little bit. And yeah, when you're doing these sources, dude, as long as there's just a little tick there, you can do a source for steel supplies. Yeah, you still count towards your See how many I've got done now. I'm at 19 of 25, 16, 6 more, and I'll be done with tier 3. Yeah, have you done those challenges? Did I tell you how to do those? Mm-hmm. I got 6 source missions, them 2 mobile operations, and make about a little under 9 mil. And for casino, I've got to make a little under 8 mil, and I'll be done with the casino heist. You go to heist, and then over to the Diamond Casino heist, yeah. And then for Los Santos tuners, I just got to get 17 more levels for LS car meet reputation. Let's see, what else am I close on here? Oh, this one here. I'm a long ways on that. I got to beat 3 more people in racing and 22 more time trials beat to get that livery. Not really worried about that too much. Let's see, for vehicle enthusiast, I got 1 more vehicle award, which is stealing cars and selling them to Simon. But you can only do 1 a day, and I've got probably about 9 more of those I gotta sell. No, because the blue dots don't count for selling them to him, even though when you take them to the anchor, you're technically selling them to him. They have to be part of, let's see, what's it say? Those at the anchor are different, even though you're selling them to him. Uh, they have to be, it says platinum with vehicles, so then when you go over to awards and vehicles, it says steal vehicles, then sell them on to make some quick cash. Just one way to hustle in Los Santos: sell vehicles to the import-export garage. Well, when you take it to the anchor, you're not selling it to the garage, you're selling it to the cargo. Some of this stuff's a little bit confusing. Yeah, that's the reason I've not worked on like every single thing. Like I've not even started working on salvage yard or bike club stuff or facility or bail bonds, career stuff. I've not even started working on any of those yet. Because I'm the ones that I'm somewhat close to, or I think that's going to be somewhat easy to complete, the ones that I'm trying to knock out first. I've knocked a few things out, like the weapons expert, that's done. Kaio's done. Oscar Guzman's done. A few others I've already completed them out, but they were fairly quick and easy to do. Yeah, I hated the bell right in the middle of that, but my daughter calls, I gotta go. I told her, I said, this is eating into my gaming time, girl. You know I'm only off last night and tonight. I'm sorry, Dad. I was like, hey, it ain't your fault. I said, I got you driving around in friggin' 20-year-old vehicles. Gotta expect they're gonna tire up sometimes. Mm-hmm. Which I told her, I said, you know, I said, if you'll ever move out of that, because she lives in a low housing income. She's moved there whenever she was pregnant and first, she didn't have a decent paying job, so she lived there. And she's lived there for, well, about 10 years now or so. And I told her, I said, if you ever move out of there, I said, I may buy you a better vehicle. I said, but till you move out of there, no, I'm not going to have a decent vehicle. Oh, this is the one where that helicopter blowed my ass up. Take that son of a bitch out first thing. I said, yeah, you know, people and kids, you got drug addicts that live in them friggin' places. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna have them sitting there just friggin' destroying a nice vehicle. Yeah, because they're jealous because they don't have something decent. And I told her, I said, well, I said, plus, whenever I get that, you're gonna have to help me pay the payments on it as well. Now, I'm not talking about like buying her a brand new vehicle, but you know, something like maybe a 2015 or something like that. I mean, my truck's a 2015, there ain't nothing wrong with it. Of course, I bought it pretty much almost new. It wasn't brand new when I bought it. It had like 15,000 miles on it. We'll just do that. But now it's got over 100,000 on it. But I've had it for 10 years. And I've got her driving a, oh shit, I'm out of friggin' missiles on my damn oppressor. It's like the Honda that tore up. It's a 2001 Honda. Then I've got like a 2005 Jeep Cherokee that's got like 280,000 miles on it. But I mean, I keep them in good shape. They both run, for the most part, they both run good. And like this here, something tears up on it, I take it to my buddy and I'm like, fix it. Yeah. And he, you know, he'll do stuff like, I dropped that car off there, okay, I hadn't even called him and told him that it's there or nothing. But he'll sit there in the morning, that's what I told her, he'll probably call me and be like, what the hell's your car doing down here? He didn't even, because I usually call him whenever I tell him I want something done, you know. Schedule an appointment, yeah. And of course he don't know what's wrong with it, so I have to tell him what's wrong with it, what to check and stuff. But I mean, he'll fix it, and then if he gets it done, he'll let her actually go ahead and have it back. Oh, the supplies were destroyed. Well, how else was I supposed to fucking stop it? Anyway, I'll go back and get another one. But yeah, he'll go ahead and fix it and let her have it back. He don't do that for just anybody. But then he'll call me and say, hey, it was this much money, you know, whatever. And I'll be like, well, it'll be a couple of weeks before I can get down there and pay you. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just whenever you get a chance, you know, come on down and pay me. But he knows, you know, I've known him since high school, dude. So, and he knows where I live and where I work and everything, you know. And he's not. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I've always told her, you know, hey, if you ever need to get something done to one of the vehicles, whichever one you're driving, just take it down there and have him do it. If it's something he can do right then, just tell him to go ahead and do it. And send me sometimes he'll mail me a bill in the mail, and sometimes he'll call me, just, you know, whatever's easiest and convenient for him. And a lot of times, unless it's going to be something like $400, $500, $600, $700, it's going to be something that's like $100, $200. He don't even call me and tell me what he's doing. He just goes ahead and does it, and then calls me and says, "Hey, it's this much," because he knows even if he calls me and says, "Hey, you need a new transmission," it's going to be $4,000. I'm going to say, "I'll just go ahead and do it." if I need it, go ahead and do it. You know. I'll figure out a way to get you the $4,000. If I have to, I'll go take a loan out or something on a vehicle or whatever. If I don't have the money. So what I mean, do you got anything you want to work on? Oh, yeah, we can.
Listen,
I don't know if those would count for me if I run them with you and vice versa or not.
but then I'm also in favor of the extrajudicial seizure of assets. So,
Well, your career, yeah. Same with the payphones. It's got to be the assassination. I know, like for the acid sourcing, they don't count, and I'm pretty sure the bunkers don't count neither. So, but I know some things do count. Well, they're mostly missions, like the casino missions and these bunker missions that we're running MOC stuff. Yeah, I need to go back and start doing some more of those, but I'm too close on these sourcing for the bunker. I'm just trying to get them done so I don't have to do no more sourcing. But yeah, it'll be next weekend before I get to run anymore, and I'll be on during the day, so I'll actually be in bed this time and not next weekend. But then after I do the 4 days, like I say, we can work on casino stuff, work on bunker. We can finish bunker off. Other than just the cash, I mean, I'll still have to do the cash, but that ain't no big deal. I can just run solo, and if I lose half of my bunker, so be it. I'll still make something off of it, you know. Casino, I can't run solo though. Right. Ah, yeah.
so this,
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I like to just do stuff solo, and then sometimes I like to run with other people. Uh, Even if I'm doing stuff solo, I like the option of being able to play online with somebody if I want to, you know. I mean, now there's some solo games like Days Gone, man. I really enjoy that game, and I'm thinking about going back and playing it for like the 10th time. Days Gone, it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic game. It's got like, it's not really zombies. They call them uh, freakers is what they call them, but they're basically like zombies, and they're in hordes and stuff. And it's just, I mean, it's not even online. It's just a total solo game. And basically, you're riding around on a motorcycle, and you gotta upgrade your motorcycle, and you gotta sell freaker ears and other kinds of ears. You get those by killing stuff to different camps to get reputation and get money, credits they call it, not money, so that you can buy upgrades for stuff, and certain camps have certain upgrades that you can get. Yeah, YouTube it sometime, man. I like it. It's a fun game to just sit back and play by yourself, you know what I mean? There's no co-op or anything to it that I know of. But they just remastered it and come out with some new stuff for it. Which it's been out for, 7, 8 years. And they're just now remastering it. And everybody's been wanting a Days Gone 2 to come out. So you're kind of like you had a girlfriend, well, a wife, and when the apocalypse was happening and the freakers was starting to become freakers and stuff, you put her on a helicopter because she got hurt, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna come and find you. So a lot of the story is that, and plus your brother from the motorcycle club that you was in before all of that happened. You're trying to help him because he ends up getting injured, and yeah, it's a lot different, man. It's not like GTA. It's not like Red Dead. It's kind of really hard to explain it. It's a total different game altogether. Have you ever played DayZ? It is an online game, but if you don't find a good server, I know a guy that runs a server and he boosts the loot. If you play on just like a regular server, man, it's like, it sucks. Because I've tried playing on just regular servers, man, and you'll starve to death or thirst to death or freeze to death before you find anything. It's almost impossible to find weapons, food, drinks, any of that stuff. But where he boosts the loot, man, I mean, you go in, you can instantly be like, in a way, it kind of sucks being on that boosted, for the simple fact that there's no challenge there, really. But I enjoy building bases, so that's mainly what I do when I do play that game. I just go in and build bases. But it's a zombie, because you got zombies and stuff that you have to fight. But it can be totally PvP. But now, like the server that he's got it set up so that half of the map is PvP, half of it's just PvE. So if you get caught killing somebody on the PvE side, you get banned from the server.
Bingo, that's what we're looking for. Okay, here's our end of the bargain.
But Days Gone's kind of like that, except it's not online. Yeah, you can go. Yeah, DayZ's not. DayZ is kind of a solo player, but kind of not a solo player because you're playing online, so you're playing with other players. But you can't group up like you know how we group up in this game or other games. you can't actually group up. So, like, say, if me and you was running together and we had a base built together, we could actually accidentally kill each other because we can't group up to where there's no friendly fire. They're just basically really something that I'll play when I get bored playing Red Dead or whatever else that I've been playing for a while. Damn traffic jam here, man. Get out of my way, people. But I've played that Days Gone, oh god, probably 10 times or more, all the way through from start to finish. But you can do once you've played it all the way through and you've got your bike built up, you've got your reputation and stuff and money, you can actually restart with all of your money and your weapons. And I think your bike as well. So you don't have to build all that up, but you're starting out with 0 skills and stuff, so you have to go do all that stuff again. And I think you have to build your reputation back up again as well. It's just something that's fun to, you know, sit back, relax, enjoy, ride around on your motorcycle, killing zombies and NPCs, stuff like that. Doing little side missions. Be nice if they'd come out with an online version of it. I'd like for them to come out with a part 2 of it, where, because you end up at the end, you end up, you think your wife's dead through the whole thing. You think she got killed, didn't survive, but at the end of it, you find out she's still alive, and you hook back up with her. And everybody's been wanting them to come out with a version 2 where, you know, you've got her and your buddy Boozer and stuff, continuing on doing other stuff. And it's based in Oregon. I think I'm gonna go do some of them servo missions if I got any specialties after this, and let this thing drop down so I can do my last 5. Yeah. Yeah, I don't do them unless they're specialist or specialist plus, and then when I do the payphone hit, I bounce between those and payphone, but back and forth. And the payphones, I always try to make sure and do the assassination, although sometimes I don't get the assassination. Agency. My popularity's been 0 for about a month now. I've kind of abandoned that, although I need to get 40 more players to visit my nightclub, and I need to get 14 more celebrities to visit. The only way you can get the celebrities to keep your popularity up and just keep doing the management missions, and eventually it'll give you one. But I've probably done friggin' 200 of them management missions and only got like 11 celebrities of the 25 so far. nothing you can do to manipulate it, like except maybe jump servers and wait for the cooldown when you get one that's not the celebrity. But when I get one, I'm like, screw it, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Unless it's one that really, really sucks, and then I'll jump servers. I hate doing the getting the supplies. I hate that one. That one's just a pain in the butt. Going and driving that box van back to the nightclub. Especially if it's way up north. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have to go to like Grapeseed or Pluto Bay, you're gonna spend 15 minutes just getting up there and getting your damn
So from what I hear, the Ellis
thing
Park is a
back.
cool ass spot.
Oh shit, I died. I didn't pull it in time. Oh well. I forgot my scooter was on the road and not up top. I always try to pull my parachute close to the ground because I can't find it again, but I found some place to where you got to pull your parachute within like 100 foot of the ground so many times. I think it was an award, but I can't remember where it was at. He's starting to doze. Yeah, I heard you starting to snore there a little bit. Yeah.
Oh shit! We got an injured baller here. One of the homies is down. Hey, get back! Hey, you alright? Man, you got a gun.
Yeah, I need to do some of them terabytes too, because I think that's part of your career progression for the. I think that's for the garment factory. I think Summer's in the business there. I can't remember which business it is, but I think that's part of it. Shit, I've come in and instantly killed. Damn, trying to steal this friggin' car.
You better move it before I come over there and run up on you. Ballers for life! Hey, take cover! You better pray you die quick! Take cover, y'all! Oh, hell no! Fall back! Motherfucker! Mark, get the hell out of here! Man, this gun's a piece of shit! Kill me, you motherfucker! Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to all that career progression stuff, man. Where's my car? I gotta recover. Back here. Go over here and unlock the door so I don't have no more people spawning on me. These people so nasty. I hear flies flying around in this garage.
This is my car!
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got some cool stuff here for you. Got pretty much everything in here.
Yeah, I don't sleep too good most of the time, but
Stay
every
strapped
so
in.
often, every so many months, man, I'll sleep for friggin' like 18, 20 hours. Hmm. Yeah, but the rest of the year I'm sleeping. If I'm on a good night, I'll sleep 3 to 5 hours. Need to go do this FBI file for the week because that's the one that I need to try to finish off the daggone elite challenge on. That's the last one I need. I need one elite challenge part on it. And that's the thing about that career progression is you don't have to do the whole elite challenge at one time for each file of the 4 files in the garment factory. You can do them a piece here and a piece there. Once you get them all done, then it gives you credit. I wish all of them was that way. Is that the garment factory or was that the casino? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I've not done those yet. Yeah.
Hi. For real? I got this.
Mhm. Mhm.
Back before you know it.
Mhm. Yeah. Hey, you know we're just joking, man. When we say stuff like that, man, we're just messing with you, dude. We,
I'm
yeah,
tracking the plane's movements as best I can. It'll land at LSIA with IAA clearance, but if we want this neat, and we do want this neat, we need to keep it away from civilians. If we can hack the control tower, we can reroute the plane. There's a
right.
cybersecurity group the FIB work with not far from you. They have
Yeah.
the device we need. I've sent
Yeah, I mean, dude,
read it. If what we do to
I
assist
really, I've always been the type of person, dude. You know, I'm not racist, but sometimes I might sound that way with stuff I say, but
you're looking
I'm
for a
just joking, you know what I'm
device.
saying?
Looks like a phone with a
And,
server attached.
I mean,
Remember, they have
it's
FIB
like,
resources, so expect
you
resistance.
can't, I'm pretty much impossible to offend. I'm pretty much impossible to make mad. I mean, you know, you can say anything you want to about my race or anything. Don't say stuff about my family or my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, say if, you know, me and you's in a group or something doing something, somebody comes in and starts raising shit, and I'm gonna be like, hey, wait a minute, dude. You know, what the fuck? You know? But, I mean, on the same respect, if you get on my shit list, it's next to impossible to get off of it. Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, right. Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, you know, honestly, where I live at, man, when I growed up, it's like I lived in the county and there was no black people out here. But I still had black friends that lived in the city, which the city's only like 5 minutes from where I live at. You know, but I had black friends and stuff. Now, we had where's this friggin' hacking device I need to be finding? Anyway, we had a spot out on the lake to where we had a rope and stuff, and we'd go out there and drink, party and shit, and have a good time, swing off the rope into the lake, stuff like that. Well, there was never any black people out there. They never come out there. And we was out there partying. We had a big old rock that we sat on and everything, you know, that we swung off of into the lake. And there was some black people come walking out through there, and they seen like 15, 20 of us sitting up there, and they was like, ooh, they turned around and left, you know. But it's like none of us was ever racist, but it's like the black people had their area they hung, and the white people had the area they hung, but at the same time, we would intermix in certain places. But, you know, I mean, when I lived in Gulfport, Mississippi for a little while. And, of course, down there where I lived at, there was probably, I don't know, 95% black versus 5% white, you know. And so everybody I hung out with was black people. And we went out to a bar one night and was hanging out. And there was a group of black people over to the side of us and stuff, you know, that kept eyeballing me. And I mean, I didn't know these guys but about 3 or 4 months, you know, and I was like, dude, Because I was like, "You gonna have my back if something jumps off in here?" They're like, "Hell yeah, we got you back." And they said, "Just look over there at them and ask them, in what the fuck you looking at?" And I was like, "Yeah, you just wanting to get my ass jumped, ain't you?" It's like, "No, hell no, we got you fucking back, man." You know, because they knew more people in the bar than that group of people did, apparently. That was their hangout, you know. But, and honestly, you know, and don't take this the wrong way, people change the meanings of words to mean what they want. Okay, let me pause my stream here for a second, because what I'm saying, I don't want. I just, you know, it's just little things like that that people's like, "Oh man, you're this or you're that, whatever." That's just like the Redskins, dude. I was a Washington Redskins fan for years. Okay, still am a Washington Redskins fan, but I don't watch pro sport. Only pro sports I watch now is hockey. And the reason I quit watching pro football, baseball, and basketball is because the athletes, in my mind, are disrespecting our military and our police and our country by doing the kneeling. And they're like, "Oh, well, it's in protest of, police brutality and that." Go look at the stats. Okay, I'm not saying that it don't happen to black people, but go look at the stats. There is more, actually, there as many or more. It's been a few years since I looked at the stats, the actual FBI stats, but there's more whites and Mexicans than there are blacks get killed by police officers or beat up. And if you look at the crime on crime, there's more black people killing black people than there are whites killing black, or blacks killing whites. And so, some of these people just want to put blame someplace to try to make yourself feel better. So it's just, I don't know, dude. I think a lot of shit's just all screwed up, and it's all the victim mentality trying to roll in, you know. And don't get mad at me and defriend me. That stuff, dude. I'm just trying to say, you know. Right. Right.
Once you have little baby sonar, bring it back to Jody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's into horticulture. Right. Uh-huh. Right.
We need to destroy the plane's engines and force it into the Alamo Sea. No crash, no civilians. We want this neat.
You know what would provide ample firepower?
Right.
For water landing. Weaponized amphibious flying boat. My second favorite phrase in English language.
Okay. Then Merryweather's our target. They have a barge out, running tests with one of their Tulas. I'll send the location.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
According to my surveillance, you will be in the, how you say, butt of the beast. Merryweather's all over the waves.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Embrace you!
Mm-hmm.
Man down! You fucking pussy! Down, damn it! Taking the hell to bleed!
Eyes up. Merryweather's called for backup.
If you have the tool, you have the solution. Time to test the big guns.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, you know, that flag has turned into a racist thing with a lot of the groups of people that's coming around, but it didn't originally start out that way. Well, it was a battle flag when the North and the South actually started the war, but the war didn't initially start over slavery. Slavery was what ended up being part of it, but it ended up starting out because the North wanted to tax the South for the goods that they were sending, and the South only had the North didn't have cotton and certain other goods that the South had. And that's what it all ended up. But see, history, along with meanings of words, has gotten changed there again to fit what people want it to fit. But people don't educate themselves anymore on stuff, man. They Google it, whatever Google tells them. Oh, that's God's truth, you know.
I saw the fireworks through the periscope. Oh, my eyes.
And that's part of the problem with the world today, man. Is people don't actually go and research stuff like they should.
Pavel, get a cool pack on your face.
They just take it that, oh, okay, that's what it is. And there again, I'm not trying to defend nothing, dude. I mean, I don't agree with that. But, every race in the history of the world has been slaves at one time or another. Yeah, but you know what race that had the most slaves back in the early days was? A black man. He had the most slaves and the biggest plantation, and a lot of people, say, oh well, white man went to Africa and then trapped the black man for slavery. No, white man didn't even get off the docks. It was other black slaves that were stronger than other slaves wanted the goods that white man was bringing over there. So that was the only thing they had to trade for it. There again, not trying to defend nothing. I'm just saying. I used to be real big into history stuff, man. I used to really research shit and, and it wasn't that I was going to research that. It's just like, hell, I'd watch History Channel and shit all the time. And then whenever I was in college and school and stuff like that, I really got into Civil War and Vietnam War and Korean War and all of the different wars and shit. Yeah, you start trying to educate a lot of people on that stuff, and they're like, "Well, that ain't what they teach." I'm like, "Yeah, but they don't teach the right stuff in school no more. They teach what they want to fit an agenda." Yeah, and it's just like, no wonder well, I mean, dude, you got kids graduating high school now that can't even hardly add 2 + 2. You know, I don't know how many times I'll go to fast food place like Burger King or something, and it'll be a young person, at the register, and my bill will be like $9.57 or something, and I'll give them $10 bill. And if the register's not working, you'll see them break out a calculator. I'm like, dude, you owe me 43 cents. Come on, simple math. You ought to be able to do that in your head. I mean, I could understand if I was asking you to multiply, 197 by 306 or something. Yeah, break out a calculator, man. Because I mean, I can do it with pencil and paper, but I'm not going to sit and take time to do it. I'm going to break out the calculator. But when I'm asking you to do simple math, add and subtract, come on. And most multiplication, you should be able to do in your head. The smaller stuff, like certain numbers, at least up to multiples of 10, you should be able to do in your head. When I was in school, dude, all the way through high school, we was not allowed a calculator, dude. And trust me, we was having multiplication problems on tests that would be like 312 times 472 or something, just off the wall big numbers and stuff. And yeah, we wasn't allowed a calculator. We had to sit there and show our work. Yeah, it's like, okay.
Oh, shit!
Yeah. Well, some of my biggest beef with education, not teaching kids stuff anymore, is, and like, like trying to erase history. Okay, who done that in the history? Well, if you don't know history, you don't know. But who was trying to really do that? Hitler. He tried to erase history. And why did he do that? Because he didn't want his people knowing the truth about things. Good or bad, dude, it ought to be taught, and it ought to be taught correctly. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't try to change it. Because if you do that, then once history's lost, guess what? It's going to repeat itself eventually. You don't want history. Certain things you don't want history repeating. Hitler tried to take down statues and erase history and burn books and stuff like that. Get rid of books and stuff. Okay, if it's, and I've always said, my motto is I don't care what people think about me or how I look or whatever. If you don't like the way I look, guess what? God put your head on a pivot point and look the other way. If you don't like what I'm saying, God give you 2 feet. If not, there's a way you can get away, walk away from me. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I've always lived, hey, you let me live my life, I let you live your life. I don't care what you do as long as you don't care what I do, but don't try to push your way of living on me. Don't try to force me to live how you want to live. Do your thing, man. I don't care. As long as it's not affecting me, I don't care what you do, man. But nowadays, especially, man, we got too many people trying to push their way of life on everybody else. Hey, just let people be, man. Back when people was living that way, hey, the world was a lot better off. That's right. That's right. You do what you want, man. Yeah. I mean, it's just, that's the way it should be, man. That's the way it should be. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Now don't get me wrong, dude. I mean, if you want to start some shit with me, dude, hey, we get it. You might whoop my butt, I might whoop yours. If I get my butt whooped, guess what? I'll walk away and hey, I take my lumps. And that's the way it was when I was growing up, dude. When I was in high school, man, probably 85, 90, 95% of the cars in the parking lot had shotguns and rifles and pistols and everything else. You didn't have no school shootings. If I had a beef with you, man, I'd be like, all right, meet me down here behind the Roadrunner. We'll take care of this after school, or we'd take care of it right in school and just get suspended. You know what I'm saying? We'd we'd fight it out. One of us would get our hind end whooped. Then afterwards, man, we'd go out and burn us a big and drink us some beer or something. Hey, it is what it is, man. We've settled our beef, dude. We're done. You know? Yeah, I mean, hell, we all the boys had pocket knives. Hell, we'd be in there trading them with the teacher. Hey, man, I like that knife, man. What do you take for it? Well, what you got? Yeah, I got this knife here, man. Well, I'll tell you what, you give me $5 boot and that knife, and we'll trade. And we'd be doing that with the teachers and the vice principals and everything, man. You know, it's like, and we didn't have no issue, but I mean, we settled it with fists if we had a problem. If anybody had problems with each other, we settled it with fists. They wouldn't know this, and everybody's like, well, what's changed between then and now? I'm like, well, in my opinion, and I can't say that this is true, but in my opinion, part of it was the no kid left behind, and then it got to be to where, okay, teachers couldn't paddle students in school, and then that was part of it. And the no kid left behind is what's making our kids non-educated the way they are now. I mean, because they can't fail them. It's like my grandson, dude. He was, he was coming out of fourth going into fifth, or third going into fourth. And my daughter always puts him in summer school for a couple months just to keep his mind fresh on stuff. And I think he was going out of fourth into fifth, and she had him tested, and he tested on like a first grade level in reading and math. And I told her, I said, hold him back a year. She went to talk to the principal of his school. She said, we can't do that. I said, what do you mean? He's your kid. If you want to hold him back, hold him back. She said, the government would not let her hold him back. I said, that's bullshit. And the principal even told her, said, the government has made it now to where, well, at least the school he goes to, it may be different for other schools in the area or whatever, but he goes to a city school, said that if a student makes a failing grade, it is not allowed to be recorded. So when I was in school, anything below a 70 was failing. And so basically, if a student makes below a 70, they have to record it as a 70. Even if he makes a 0 on it. Yeah. Well, you ain't helping them none, man. I mean, dude, when I was in high school, I had a friend of mine, and I don't remember exactly how it was, but he was in 12th grade math, he was in 11th grade English, he was in 10th grade science, he was in ninth grade something else, he was in 8th grade something else, and 7th grade something else. So he was in 7th, 8th, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade all in the same year because he wasn't passing it. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't not passing it because he was dumb. He just didn't give a shit. You know. Uh, but I mean, you know, yeah, the 7th grade class. I mean, he repeated it like 5 years in a row because he wasn't passing it. So, you know, and that's the way it should be. Don't pass a student if they're not passing the grade. You're not helping them. You're just hurting them. Yeah. It's got to where the criminal doesn't get punished, but the victim does. So there's no actions for your consequences, and that's the reason you end up with a society like we have now: school shootings, school stabbings. Yeah, I mean, like and I know you've seen a lot of it in the news and on YouTube about this Kamalo Anthony or whatever his name is. Stabbing that kid. Well, shit, dude. When I was in school, hell, if we'd have had a problem, we'd have fished it out. I mean, that kid's basically. He may or may not get out of it. I don't see how he's going to get out of it. But I mean, he's going to prison for murder. I mean, yeah, true. I don't know all the facts because all the facts hadn't came out. But I like what's his name? Officer Tatum. You ever watch him on YouTube? He's an ex-officer, black fella. He's an ex-officer, police officer, and he's been talking about, and there's a couple of the twins. What's their twin brothers? They talk about it a lot. And they're like, yeah, this dude's going away. He's going to prison. I mean, because they've looked at the police report because they've released the police report. You yourself can go look up the police report, which I've not done. But they start stating the facts on it and everything, and like, yeah, man, I don't see how he's going to get out of this. And it was all over stupid shit. He was supposed to be in school. He wasn't even supposed to have been at the track meet that he was at. And he was sitting under another school's tent. Dude asked him to leave, and he wouldn't. He refused to leave and stuck his hand in his backpack and said, touch me and see what happens. The guy grabbed a hold of him, was trying to get him to leave, and he stabs him and kills him. Yeah. And so, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just a screwed up world anymore, dude. I hate that my grandson even has to go to school. I've tried to talk my daughter into figuring out a way we can homeschool him. Because, I mean, I don't know. The whole world's screwed up, man. Yeah, I mean, eventually, if you look back at the history of the world, I mean, things go through bad spells and then go through good spells. And it's like all of this global warming stuff. There's people making money off of that. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's getting hotter, but guess what? Scientists have proven that throughout the history of time, the world goes through heat cycles and cold cycles. That's why there's been multiple ice ages. You'll have a heat cycle before you'll have an ice age. Probably not in our lifetime, or maybe tomorrow. We don't know. Eventually, there's going to be another ice age. Right. Yeah, so I mean, it's all a big hoax, the global warming thing. And they say, oh well, it's due to fossil fuels. Okay, well, if it's due to fossil fuels, then why throughout the history of time before fossil fuels was even being used, was there times to where, the earth got extremely hot? And scientists have proven this. You know. Then they'll try to blame it on cows farting.
Why don't you go on back to your wussy daddy?
Methane, you know. Like, really? Yeah, really? I mean, I'm sure throughout the history of the world, all animals and creatures have farted.
We got a brother down.
No, I mean, you know. Right. I mean, it's just, you know, it's all a big scam, man. Oh, what was his name that come out? Started hollering all that back in the 90s. Oh, shit. Kerry, what's his name? I know what his name is. My mind's just going blank. He's made hundreds of millions of dollars off of this global warming stuff. You know. I don't know, man. I get frustrated about some of this stupid stuff, and people fall for it, man. That's what gets me. I'm like, man, please do some research on stuff, man. You know, learn this stuff for yourself. Don't, you know. And it's like stuff I've been telling you, dude. Don't take it for granted. What I'm telling you is the God's gospel's truth, man. Go research this stuff. You know, find out for yourself. I encourage people to. Hey, if you can give me documentation that what I've learned through my life or what I believe is wrong, hey, show it to me, you know? I'll change my mind. Yeah, get you some sleep for work tomorrow. You don't want the boss man coming in seeing you one eye closed. Mm-hmm.
Y'all move fast. Down. Down. Shit, we got some injuries. No count asshole. Chester is down. Oh! He's on his own jam. Eat this. I'm reloading, boys.
Right. 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 I understand. Yeah, I won't be on tomorrow. I'll be sleeping and working tomorrow.
You going down?
I hope we have a good day, man. You never know anymore when you go into work if you're gonna have a good day or a crappy day where I work at, man.
Keep him busy. I got a
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll be back on next Friday. I'll probably get off here in a couple hours and do my Red Dead, at least a few of my dailies, keep my streak going over there, and then jump back on GTA for maybe an hour or two, do another resupply or two in the bunker, try to knock them last 5 out. Oh yeah, we'll get there. We'll get your stuff done. Hopefully we can get our bunker stuff done next weekend. Maybe get started on your uh, casino or your apartment heist. Then that way you'll be locked in and you won't be able to do them with nobody else. But Evil was talking to me about it, so we don't, because you're usually up late, and that way Duck don't have to try to stay up late to do them. Yeah. But yeah, I'll catch you next weekend, man. Alright, have a good man.
Looking good, boss. I'll be here.
Hey, got pretty much everything in here. Stay strapped.
All you gotta do is pick the supplies and bring them to your bunker. And maybe look out for trouble along the way.
Maybe I can get one more supply run.
That'll keep him busy.
Should put me to only needing 3 after this one.
Our readings indicate a large stockpile of weapons on a cargo ship on Elysian Island. You'll encounter foreign agents.
我没有子弹了，你一点荣誉心也没有。滚开，混蛋！跟路啊，混蛋！来人！补充子弹！孬种！他妈的去死 ！No！ 我们有人倒下了！
寻找庇护！我希望你们去死！孬种！
去死吧，贱人！真是该死！哇哦！啊！中弹了！我们的人受伤了！
小掩护！追连！
你死定了！
There's something beeping. I don't know if it's up there or...
你死定了！
孬种！
我正在补充子弹。
准备你死吧！ 烂人！
你们会像死猪肉一样孬种！
Motherfucker!
准备上！虽连。来人！
Three more resupplies and that'll be done.
Good work. That's what these labs...
Upgrade your wardrobe and finally become the person you believe yourself to be. Stop by the casino store and treat yourself.
Alright, chat, we're going to jump over to some Red Dead now. We got about 2 minutes by the time we get over there, and the dailies will be reset. So come over and join me on some Red Dead, everybody.